Good morning and happy Wednesday. Today, I want to talk about a very specific topic, and that is your size affecting your life? Is your size almost kind of like a little silent torture that it's completely uh, ruining your happiness every single day? This video is obviously going to trigger many people, and this video isn't for everyone. If you are struggling with your size, this video is for you. If you are absolutely okay with how you feel about yourself and this you might find it triggering, then do please switch off and just carry on scrolling or join off any of my other videos who are maybe less triggering. Why I wanted to make this video in the first place is because I just think that sometimes it's important to share my story. And I know that how passionate I am about this topic, that obviously is very triggering because I was one of those people who really struggled with this specific problem, and I simply couldn't let go the idea of to accept where I was at my journey. It doesn't matter what other people were telling me. Lots of people were telling me, I remember like through my 30s and when I was, gave birth to my two children and going through two pregnancies. And I just remember myself really struggling with my body image and with my size, who was at that time completely different to what was my, let's say, my normal appearance, or let's say when I was in my 20s. And that was kind of the place where I was happy at. And suddenly I've lost it all. So why I'm passionate about this, it's because I know that there's so many of you who are struggling in silence, who you don't even want to share how you feel because you know that you're going to get the comments like, "Hun, why are you worried about it? You should be so happy with how you look," or "I would give everything to have the body like yours," or "You've had children, so why you even want to change? That's what it is." And if you are really trying so hard to get yourself to a place of acceptance, but if you feel you really need to do something about it, but you don't know how, then hear my story. So obviously, like I was in my 30s and I gave birth to, well, like I had two pregnancies where I gained over 5 stone on both times. So which basically meant that I went from um, low 60 kilos to basically going over 90, which was at that time a huge shock. I know, obviously, kind of when I delivered the baby, that my weight kind of just basically went over 80 kilos, but it was just that look, how I looked in the mirror, was something that I simply couldn't accept. And that was a time that I really started to struggle mentally to actually find what is that I'm doing wrong. Why am I constantly losing control over food? Why I can't shake off the feeling that I can't be happy where I am at. And it was just a constant cycle of um, despair and trying to work really hard to get myself to a better place. But I simply didn't know how to do it. So obviously for me it was a really long journey. So I've started physical education at the age of 18 to 23. So I was a qualified PE teacher. So I knew how physical activity is important for my life. And and obviously when I came in the UK in 2010, I was qualified to be a personal trainer. And I was doing a lot of fitness. But that food part to me was always really alien. So we've done kind of really basic education about nutrition, in my university, at my university, and later on in personal training. And everything was more pushed towards you need to eat healthy to be able to lose weight. You need to do all these certain things for you to be able to lose weight. And and I just simply had no answers. I had no idea what was going on until I started studying macronutrition uni, where really kind of helped me to understand the emotional side of how we eat the way we eat. And that was the first time that I kind of finally had the education to be able to apply on, on myself. and then suddenly kind of to put all the things together so that I started actually being more in control of my eating to reduce my binge eating episodes that I really struggled with, and to kind of stop that self distraction. So basically, what had happened that I'm just going to say to you that it came the point, and I feel like for every single one of us, is the point of self acceptance, where there comes the point, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, no matter what size you are, but it comes a point where you just look at as a starting point, where you, or how I've seen myself, I literally wrap myself with self compassion and with kindness. And I remember there was for me like a triggering, specifically triggering picture of me on the beach in Tenerife, where I was before partying really hard and I felt great about myself. And then suddenly, 10 years on, I look completely different. I don't look like myself. And I just simply couldn't even look at that picture. So I wanted to delete it. And obviously, it was my sister in law that took it. So she still had it. And I had to obviously ask her for it like a few months later because I deleted it when she sent it to me. And anyway, but in that point that I really felt it wasn't my size that it was causing me a problem. It was how I felt underneath, that it was really started kind of to bringing stuff up. It was the way how I felt about myself. It was the way how I treated myself, to kind of to punish myself for maybe the life that I suddenly had. I was a mom of two kids, running a business and trying to work all this out, and life simply just fell on top of me. And in that point in time, I really felt I didn't gain weight because, kind of I wanted to. I gained weight because I didn't know how to cope with life in any other way. And because obviously I struggle with mental health, I didn't know how mental health was. I didn't know how the thoughts and emotions were working. So all of that was literally, I felt like someone was literally kind of throwing a sand in my face. I had no idea what I was doing. So, but in that point, when I just literally said, okay, I'm here where I am today for a reason. And when I looked back and I literally gave myself permission to be okay where I was at that time. So let's say 2.5 stone heavier than I am not right now. And I literally just said to myself, you gained weight because you were not okay. And really, I almost like felt, all that weight on my shoulders that it was affecting my, let's say, every time I looked at myself in the mirror, I was just throwing myself, really horrible words. And I was always talking down about myself. I remember like, when I was training my clients, I was always saying, please do train, don't allow yourself to be in the place where I am, because I feel so ashamed of how I looked, because I should be a representative of health and well-being, which I wasn't at that time. So, anyway, from the moment when I accepted myself and accepted the reason why I got myself to a place where I was, I something just shifted in me. And in that moment, I kind of almost like looked at myself and I said, Adriana, you treated yourself so badly. But from today, I'm going to take care of you. And from that moment, everything changed. I started obviously using all the knowledge that I knew. I started applying into my day-to-day life. Obviously, all the tools and strategies that I'm teaching my clients, I'm able to pass it on. But that internal feeling about how I felt underneath all of that, now I know that I needed that experience so that I can take you through that process. I can take you to that journey for you to go back to the root why you are here in the first place, or why do you hate what you see in the mirror, or why you can't be at peace with yourself. There's so many reasons why, and once when you know why did it all happen, then you're able to literally look at yourself as, let's say, today, and to have that starting point and to start taking care of yourself, start going towards things that are going to bring you more peace and more self-awareness and more, um it's kind of like for you really to shift the perspective of how you see yourself first. then how you see the world and yourself in that world. And then when it comes to, food and, all the other habits and, let's say, the movement, but that can't just come first. Because when you're looking, kind of, we all kind of look in our size, and we are all just wanting to change what we see. But actually that process is much, much gradual, or kind of, it's a layered process of seeing yourself, learning about yourself, and really picking things that they're not visible to you right now. And for example, if you're struggling with that right now, I'm just going to say to you, you you might be struggling just because you don't know how. Maybe no one has ever showed you how to do it. Maybe no one has ever given you the information that literally is a common sense, and that you can literally just say to yourself, oh my god, this is so simple. Because all those things are simple when you know. So don't beat your this is the thing. I found that when you get to a certain position, you always find the reasons to really, really beat yourself up about it. You see yourself as a failure. You see yourself as someone who, don't have everything, don't have their crap together. I don't even know how to use that other word, but there is a reason why you got here where you are today. But now the question is, what can you do about it? So my first thing would be, so obviously, like, when you want to do things on your own, that is obviously, the process is going to be much slower, because you're going to dive into so much information out there that it's going to feel overwhelming, and you will start looking and thinking, what is actually the right thing for me to follow to be able to get the results? So this is the thing that comes trial and error. So when it comes to nutrition, there is always the thing, okay, this is so much information out there that I don't even know, because everything is contradicting itself. So I'm just going to say, how about you slow down? How about you tune in your body, and allow your body to guide you, to tell you what your body likes and what it doesn't like. So for example, one of the first things that I'm going to say, just listen to your body. Does it like you staying up late and getting up in the morning? If you're feeling tired, it means your body doesn't like it. So what can you do about it to serve your body best? So when it comes to, let's say, losing your body fat, or changing, let's say, your dress size, it will really come down to managing your food intake and increasing your energy expenditure. You can track it. You can do intuitive eating. You can do flexible dieting. You can do intermittent fasting. You can do, high protein diet. It doesn't matter what it is, but what works for you, that is that you're still controlling your food intake. That the thing is obviously that's really kind of like it's a complex conversation. How you're going to lose your body fat? You're going to lose your body fat is simply if you are eating less than your body needs. Look at the body, like, your body fat as excess body fat, which basically means that you ate over time more than your body needed. So you can literally adjust yourself from there. But if you're having a challenge of eating less because you haven't addressed why you're eating more, or why you're eating, for example, to the extent that you don't feel well, then this is something that I personally think requires knowledge, requires patience, and requires diving deep. And I personally think that's really hard to do it by yourself, because there is always someone who is going to guide you, to point you to the right direction, so that you know how to overcome the challenges, especially when it comes to overeating or excessive eating, or the way you eat. What's the meaning of food? Do you reward yourself with food? Do you treat yourself when things don't go well, or do you understand? So what you can do is ask lots of questions. This is kind of one of the things. Ask lots of questions. Maybe follow someone online who has or who has been through your journey where you're right now, and someone who has overcome the challenges that you are experiencing, and just ask lots of questions. Ask the person if they want to mentor you. If someone is obviously doing coaching, ask them if they want to coach you to overcome the challenges that you're currently facing. So, because you can do this journey much longer than um, it takes a time, and it's not overnight fix. It's not a quick fix. This is something that can last for a while, but you need to be prepared for it, for you to change it. And I'm just here to tell you that you absolutely can change how you feel about yourself. You can change how you see food, and you can get just understanding how everything works, so that you can get to the point where you feel happy with yourself, where you feel balanced, or you feel like your life has got the right balance. And you can just learn to teach others how to do the same. So, anyway, hopefully this was helpful. If you're having any questions, please do give me a shout. I am more than happy to share anything that I know, because this topic is a very big passion of mine, because I think that you shouldn't settle with something that makes you unhappy. You should find a way how to get there. Anyway, if I can be your help, let me know. You can send me an email if you want to have any conversation with me about this. But for now, I'm sending you wishes for a great day, and I'll speak to you really soon. Bye bye.